it's more. That's such a long time ago.
Yeah.
Can't be booked in sleep with you? No. Okay, next. Just very much like that. Oh, bless them.
And if you did, then you run away.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, I sleep with you. Have you got kids? See you later.
Yeah. If I stay and talk to you for long enough, are you going to show me your boobs? Nope.
No.
See ya.
Right, I'm off then. Goodbye.
Yeah. Wasting my time at my age.
Exactly. We ain't got that time to waste anymore.
Oh, bless.
Oh.
I was going to say, on the timber thing, you got to look instead of Kiwa, aren't you, really?
Well, yeah, it's got to be. Don't get me wrong, he's had a good few games, but he isn't our starter. We know that. We all know it. You know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out that he was never brought to be a starter.
No. Well, I think he's looked all right last couple of games. Solid.
He's looked good.
Yeah, not world class. And again, somebody like Manchester City, you don't particularly want to see him there.
No. But he's all right for, let's say we're a bit edgy about keeping Timber fresh, right?
Yeah.
Isn't he ideal for those situations where you've got a Burnley or, do you know what I mean? Like a team that shouldn't, in theory, cause you too much trouble.
Yeah. He needs to be a good backup to put in, and the only way he's going to become good backup from going in is by being able to get in, get play, get better.
Yeah.
Well aware of that.
Well, exactly.
But on the other hand, you still, don't overly feel confident with him just being in the squad.
No.
Against your big hitters.
We're not going to go put him in the squad against a City or a United or a Villa or, do you know what I mean? Like, he needs to be integrated in slowly.
Yeah. I also will say that when I look at football as a whole yesterday, I'm happy with Liverpool and City both getting through in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Man City, again, FA Cup, Premier League, Champions League, we need that.
Exactly. The more competitions they've all got, the better.
Same with Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the FA. They've just got to the Carling Cup final. They're in the FA. They're in the League Cup. They're in the FA Cup. This is where we need them.
We can't discount. At the end of the day, right now we can't discount them from being a possibility to win the league. So they need to be in every competition they can be in.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
They're in them competitions. Cool.
And especially with Liverpool, who at the minute are also injury riddled.
Yeah.
I will get my words out eventually.
I got what you meant. Don't worry.
So this is only good thing. The only bad news for us is they've got City rather sharpish.
Yeah.
And we could have done with them and City drawing.
Yeah, I think so. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Premiership's one of them annoying things, isn't it? Where you can wish all you want for something, but all you can really do is see what happens.
Yeah.
Such a fucking annoying premise for a competition. Who thought that would be a good idea?
People that we're going to need to have that little conversation with.
Yes, indeed. I'll take the pliers.
And you know what? It's nice that it's a 3-horse race.
It really is. It's like.
Although everyone is still writing us off, which I do find incredibly infuriating.
I think you'll find it's the normal pundits that are writing us off. There are a lot of people that are saying there is a chance there. It's an outside chance. Don't get me wrong. It's not. We're the third horse in the 3-horse race, as it were. But.
Yeah.
But we know that, and for as long as there are, 1 to 4 points separating.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, as long as there's 1 to 4 points separating us from top, we're in that mix, and that's it.
Yeah. The thing is, I look at our run of games, and there's not a lot there that overly worries me.
Not with the way we've been playing.
The way you have to come back to the way we're playing, and when you say the way we're playing, you have to look at the minute.
Absolutely. Our last sort of 5 games have been phenomenal.
Well, no, they haven't.
All right, okay. I was going off that stat of like 21 in 5 games.
Oh, you're going off the
fine.
Premier League only. Okay,
Yeah.
Premier League only. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
I
go with you on that
weren't
one,
looking
Premier
at the
League
Champions League. I don't talk about that bollocks
Which-
until we get past them this week.
Yeah.
And we look a little bit more convincing. They come back to us, and if we actually go out there and go, we want a game, and we go out and we score, then it'll be a different story.
Yeah, I get that.
But as it stands, I'm not even looking at the Champions League. When we look at the Premiership,
Yeah.
you know, we have looked phenomenal in the last 5, and
We have.
you know, it's an Arsenal that I don't really recall
Hasn't been there
seeing.
for a while.
I don't recall seeing in since Wenger went. Well,
No, I mean, you
since
can say-
okay, actually, let's go back a little bit further. Since maybe about 4 years before Wenger went.
Yeah. I mean, you can say what you want about Arsenal and Arteta and all that lot, but he's finally started to get it to come together.
He had the vision. He knew what he wanted, and
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. Sometimes that vision has to deviate a little. It can't remain exactly the same year in year. But for the most part, it's I want to rely on this side of things for. You know, I want to rely on having a better defence.
Yeah.
You can see that quite clearly because that was the first thing he tried to fix.
Yeah, if you look at it, he's done the defence, he's done the midfield,
Yeah,
and now he needs to look up front.
he's done hopefully goal as well. So yeah, now it's up front. Now there's no choice. Now he has to do it.
Yeah, I mean, this will sound stupid and pathetic, but I was quite excited about Osherman. I know you said like he's not happy there and all that lot, and I get that.
No,
but
he
that's no
he's
excuse.
he's really unhappy there. It's something to do with contract talks, and they just won't entertain the contract he wants.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact details. I just know that there are complications there with him, and that essentially he's not happy. So he's not really going out there and scoring. But
No, he's not going to miss on purpose. He's still going to have bonuses and God knows what else
there is
get.
that, yeah.
And from what I can gather, they've already said to him, you can leave in the summer. You can go.
Yeah.
So
Now,
there's no reason to be unhappy.
the other side of it as well, though, is every player has a bad season at a club,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
Now, I'm not being funny, but I don't recall Osherman having a bad season at Napoli before this season.
Yeah, but again,
I may be
this is
wrong.
my only worry.
I may be wrong, but I don't recall seeing him have one. And
Okay.
maybe this is just that season. Maybe it's just not the season that clicks for him.
Yeah, so this will sound probably stupid to you, but here's the way I look at it. It's also is in the French league.
Italian league,
Sorry, Italian league.
which I've notably multiple times said is the one league that I would say is closest to ours.
Closest to, but still
It's not the
as
same.
common as.
No, it's not the same. Don't get me wrong. It's not quite as physical. It's not quite as you still have quite a lot of flyweight guys and whatever. It isn't the same, but it is from a perspective of you've got 3 or 4 teams that switch places on a regular basis. You've got a series of lower down teams that can still cause problems,
Yeah.
and nothing's ever secure within the Italian league.
Yeah. I mean,
I would say it's very, 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 very similar.
Yeah. I'm just still, just a little wary. Don't want to get stung again. I mean, Oba came over, did well, and then
Yeah.
just turned into a wanker. Like I said, never overly delivered.
No.
So but when you see like 10 goals, this is supposed to be one of the best strikers on the planet. 10 in 20, goals and assists.
I get that.
Really.
Yeah, no,
I suppose every other game isn't that bad.
I do get that, but at the same time, what you got to think is, this is a guy that has broken scoring records over in Italy. I'm not concerned over one season, and if we turned around,
but there's also you're only as good as your last game.
yeah,
You're only as good as your last season. So if you're going to spend £150 million on a player, you need a better 10 from 20.
okay, let's say right, this is an argument's sake, okay. And I'm not suggesting that Osherman has done this deliberately for this purpose. I just want to indicate that.
He's playing a leave.
Right, so let's say he has a shit season this season, right?
Yeah.
Suddenly, that price that Napoli are wanting to command for him will have to drop. They can't command 130 mil for a player that is barely turning up by their standards. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, that's not me saying that Oshiman's doing it deliberately and he's playing to leave and blah, 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 but that's, in that scenario, then, we turn around and we say, look, we don't know whether he's past his best to them, knowing he probably isn't.
Yeah.
We don't know whether this was one fruity season or not, but you can't rely on him anymore. We'll take him for 75, and they go, yeah, all right then.
Yeah,
because now he's a problem character as well. What?
Yeah.
How does your feeling then? What? Are you then, despite the season that he's had, happy at the fact that he's come to us for that amount?
Yeah.
Or are you still massively concerned over the fact that he's, been a little bit of a problem child in Napoli and...
Do you really want it? I mean, I'm looking at some of the other options that were there. I don't think Ivan Toney's the answer. I've told you that.
I really don't think Ivan Toney's the answer. There's a number of things I don't think are right with him. I think he fits... This is going to sound really bad. But I think he fits the big fish, small pond mentality.
Yeah.
Do you know, like Jamie Vardy would have. If Vardy had have gone to City, can you honestly tell me that he would still have been scoring 30 goals a season at that point in time?
No, I don't think so.
No, exactly. Mahrez is another good example. He's shone a couple of times in a couple of seasons, but ultimately he hasn't really done that well.
Yeah.
And he was very much a big fish in a small pond. I think some players fit that well. They fit being the star man at a small club.
Yeah.
But that's the feeling that I get from Tony. I don't get he's an absolute world beater every day of the week. I don't get if we draw Barcelona in the Champions League, he's the man to go net 2 goals.
No, I think we need somebody youngish, 23, 24, that's on a good run, that's playing well, and that is a proven scorer. Maybe that lad you suggested.
I was going to say, that's who I'm backing to come to us. I've got a feeling. I don't know why, I've just got a feeling. And...
Tails.
Huh?
Sorry, dropped the coin. So called Tails.
Oh.
Didn't get that right either.
Oh. I've just got this feeling. He fits the bill from where Arteta sits. He's young. He can speak Spanish. He's fucking prolific. I understand. It's Feyenoord. It's not... He's not doing it for Roma or for Napoli or for Man United. He's young, and I understand that. I get that, but sometimes you have to take that chance as well.
Yeah.
Look at that Rasmus Holland.
I wish we'd got him.
See, look at Rasmus Holland. Isn't that the best example possible? He came from a fucking farmers league, comes over to us, comes over to Man United, has a few games where you're thinking, he ain't the right man, and then scores 7 in 7.
Everything about him is a baby earning Haaland.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's sometimes you've got to take that chance, haven't you? They saw something with him. He was prolific in the country he was in. They went, yeah, right, we'll give that a shot. It might work in the Prem, it might not.
So, I mean, I'm getting wrong. I was worried the second that I said that Arsenal were still interested in Mudryk, and apparently Arteta still thinks he can get the best out of Mudryk. And I'm looking at him and I'm thinking again, problem child.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Apparently he rang Arsenal on his way to Chelsea still in tears, saying, is there anything you can do? And they're like, no, you just have agreed to join them.
You caused this.
And that's what it comes down to. They said, do you want this much money? And you went, yes, please.
Exactly. The other one that I could see is that, I can't pronounce his name, Gyökeres.
Right, yeah.
The lad you pointed out. I could also see him.
The 30 and 33.
Yeah.
Like him? Yeah, but again,
The
that also worries me as well, believe it or not.
the only issue though, I didn't catch his age.
20 something, but 18, 19, 20 something. But the thing is, 30 and 33 is a little bit worrying because that just sounds like you could knock him in against anybody, not because you're that good.
I was about to say it sounds like the quality of the competition, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
It doesn't sound like it's, I mean, don't get me wrong, Haaland did that and the quality of the competition is far greater. But he ain't playing in the Prem, which would, to me, dictate that the quality of the rest of the teams around him is pretty abysmal. It is a risk. And the other thing I like about this other lad is that he's knocked in like 6 goals for Portugal as well. Not because he's knocking them in for Portugal, but I like it because of the fact that he's proven that he can do it with different teams.
International level. Yeah, for sure.
He can do it with different teams. He can do it with different personnel around him, which is really important. So that's the other reason why I quite like him as well. Is he's got that Portuguese national. He plays for the Portuguese national side even, and he actually does the business when he plays for him.
Yeah.
Very
interesting to see.
I rate him. Like you said, he's not the quickest, but that to me, I would rather have someone in the box and know their way to goal than have to run a screamer in from 35 yards every fucking time they get hold of it. I would much rather us build with the build-up play we've got. That's the other thing as well, is we don't really play the quick breakaway. Maybe every now and again Martinelli will do it, but for the most part we play quite a patient build-up where we'll knock the ball around, knock it forward with each pass, and then get it into a position where we can cross it. But that's where our issue is we get it into the position where we can cross it and we've got no one to get their head on it.
How often have I said that this season?
Loads. Because it's true. We've got absolutely no one that you can chip a ball over to and know for sure that even if they're only going to register a shot on target with their head, know for sure that they're going to hit the ball with their head. As it stands.
This is what I like about Trost. He just throws himself into those positions.
Yeah, he does. But, I think we saw it. Was it in the last Champions League game? It might have been, or it might have been the game after. Where, again, bless him, he throws himself into one, but he is just 3 inches too short.
Yeah.
And the ball played by Saka is just a little too high. And it does catch him on the head, but it bounces off the top of his head and goes back to the opposition, basically, because we can't pick it up. And if you've got someone that's just got those couple of inches higher, who can get there and knock it in, that was your whole argument for Vlahovic.
Yeah.
Was he's tall, he knows where the ball is with his head, you can knock the ball across to him.
But he's also a good finisher with his feet.
He is, yeah.
He was before he went as well.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't think he's the answer anymore. But the only reason why I don't think he's the answer is what, he's now 27, 28?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot... Really horrible analogy because we're talking about footballers, but it's fucking hard to teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah.
He's now ingrained in the way that he plays. And that is that. There's no fixing that, unfortunately.
Don't get me wrong, if Washington came to us, I would not be disappointed in the slightest.
No, I wouldn't be. But you have to expect that if he came to us, either Osherman or Vlahovic, either one of those come to us, you have to expect that they're an answer for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
They're not a long-term solution. And that's when you look at... When you look at Arteta, he doesn't like short-term solutions.
No.
I can't think of one player that he's brought recently where it's been, it'll do for a season. Maybe Jorginho.
See?
Jorginho. There's the one.
Have you seen Jorginho is the one player that I don't think ever looks shit for Arsenal. Always looks solid. Knows what he's doing. I think he's out of contract at the end of this year, and I hope we offer him another year.
He's now an ends, isn't he? He's another round Nenny. He never looks great. He never looks shit. Huh?
No, Jorginho, the last 2 games he's played for us.
Oh, Jorginho's looked awesome, to be fair, the last couple of games.
He's played 2 games all year. Started 2 games since the start of this year. He's been man of the match both.
Yeah, I will hold my hands up. Actually, last couple of games he has been good. He's been very good.
I mean, Havertz has started to settle in now.
Yeah, and maybe
yeah.
again that's one of them. We're all really quick to hate the idea because he's cost a lot of money. He's come from Chelsea and he flopped there. But maybe Arteta is the man to get the best out of him.
He's put in some good performances. He's put in some shockers.
Yeah.
I don't mind bringing him off the bench.
You don't mind beating him off?
Bringing him off the bench.
Oh. I was like, fucking hell. Your opinion has changed on him.
Bringing him off the bench.
Christ.
Again, there was a stat that he started up front against Liverpool, Man City and Newcastle. We beat all 3. And I'm like, we scored in none of them. He did against Newcastle, actually, to be fair. But...
I'm saying, and that's not reflective of the performances of the rest of the players around. You cannot turn around. That's like the whole stat with like last year. Of every time Saliba was in the squad, we've won. Yeah, okay. Don't get me wrong. A bit of it's Saliba, a good amount of it's Saliba. But you've got 10 other players on the pitch. So explain to me how that one works. You know, and it's exactly the same. You know, Havertz is playing well right now, but the rest of the team's playing phenomenally.
Yeah.
What happens when? Well, we've already seen it. What happens when the team stop performing well? Because that's when you need someone to step up and go and grab a game by the balls, right?
Yeah.
When shit's looking down, that's when we look at Saka and we go, mate, bail us out here. Or Rice, Odegaard. You know.
Martinelli recently, to be fair.
No, not Martinelli. That's why I didn't name him. He could be that example of he's just having a bit of a bad season.
I don't know if he's had too many injuries and he's just a little afraid.
Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to know with him, but what I do know is that this season's been a bit off for him. I don't know about you, but I still believe in the lad. I don't think that... I think he's a fantastic enough player to bounce back. And I'm not that worried by it. You know, even though it's any other player, you turn around and be like, a bit worried about the fact that, you know, all season they've been a bit off pace. With him, I don't sit and do that. I just go, he'll come through.
I don't mind, though, if for a couple of games he's put on the bench and is given half an hour.
Yeah.
Just look, mate, we're not going to put so much pressure on you. This isn't a demotion or anything like that. Just take a game or 2, come off the bench.
I think, though...
Just do your thing.
I think that the only way you can do that, realistically, that then relies on you having to put Havertz up front and then Tross on the left.
Yeah, which again I don't mind.
For the odd game, if it's a nothing game, well, that's a horrible way of putting it. That's because there isn't a nothing game. If it's a Luton or
like Sheffield United, for example.
Luton or a Sheffield or whatever, yeah, fuck it, do it. I don't care. But if it's going to be a Man United that you decide to start tinkering with,
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Just give me a couple of games and just say, look, you know, we have to do this. Get you hungry again.
Yeah.
I mean, I found it interesting that Gabriel Jesus was back for Newcastle and was benched and didn't even come on. Oh, I'm going to have to go work for it. I'll call you back later.
See you in a bit.
Right,
Bye. No, I never smoking that. Ugh, so tedious. I could do this. Dungeon itself is pretty short, which makes the 2 hours of trawl to get to it not worth it. Now, I faced this recently and I still can't remember how to do it. I think I lucked into it last time. Is this the shield bash boss? Bosh. Definitely I'm using. Of course, now he's going to throw him further up the thing. I hate this boss. I have to get behind him. Yeah. That should be alright. Ow. Oh, that was skill. I literally repositioned myself ever so slightly and got it. Oh, fuck me, I did it again. That's probably the quickest I've ever beaten that fucker. Oh, dude. I know you love me, mate. No, actually. This room is weird, right? I think... Yeah. Then they all go. Then we come right the way back. Pause the recording. Camper. Yeah, no shit. That was worth it for the arrows alone. This time I did the run properly. Assholes. So you can play that game. That the game you want to play, huh?